Majority of Asian countries have managed to double their economic growth every 10 years. Some economic analysts argue that such growth could be ensured because the countries have been implementing the neoliberal political and economic principles. Contrary to this, Africa has been registering extraordinary development since 10 years after it has begun implementing developmental state politics. A conference deliberating on ways of ensuring sustained economic growth in Africa was in progress in Madrid, Spain. Prime Minister Meles Neo, who attended the conference, said the neoliberal ideology has failed to bring about the desired level of economic growth in Africa as that of the economic growth witnessed in Asia. Those analysts who were in favor of the ideology have now confirmed that neoliberal principle even did not bring about peace, democracy and good governance in the continent. According to the Premier, a neoliberal ideology has come to an end in the context of Africa.
Circumstances for progressive politics in Africa have improved dramatically in the recent past for two reasons. First, the monopolization of the policy space by the neoliberal paradigm is coming to an end. And second, globalization that was doing well without Africa is reaching a stage where it cannot do so well without Africa.
Currently, let alone Africa, developed nations who brewed and cultivated the ideology said the neoliberal principle has caused the current global economic crisis. The ideology is now phasing out not only in Africa but also in Asian countries. African countries have now formulated alternative mechanisms in which they can form strong governments. Tanzanian President Jakaya Kikwete has demonstrated that developmental state politics is the best option for Africa.
There is good governance in many nations today. There is greater respect for human rights, rule of law, and there is greater commitment to the fight against corruption. The extent or the levels of achievements differ from country to country. But one cannot say today that Africa is a country that is typified by neglect of good governance.
According to the President, African countries on average are registering a 5% economic growth every year.
Many African economies are recording high growth rates. Before the monster set in, the entire global financial crisis and the economic downturn, most African countries were growing at more than 5%. The majority of African countries.
Spanish Prime Minister Zapatero on his part said developmental agendas of Africa should consider the interests of the continent. Africa is still registering better economic growth even at this difficult time when global economic meltdown is prevalent.